Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea with me, which today is actually something that I don't drink that usually, which is a green tea. But it is a green tea with a flavor of mandarin and orange. But yeah, normally I don't really enjoy green teas, but this green tea is actually one that's really caught on to my taste, so I do enjoy it. Can also warmly recommend it. I do believe I've once, yes, it was the tea that I also gave away in my orange giveaway at King's Day. So, but let's not talk about tea. We are here to talk about a few things that's gonna come up this week, but also to talk about the yarn and the projects that I've spent my previous week working with and how far I've gotten on my projects. First of all, I'm going to tell you that the next yarn talk video, normally they come out on Mondays. Next week, it will be out on Tuesday because I am not home Monday in connection with its Pentecost. At least here in Europe, it's a vacation day. For some countries, it's even a bank holiday. But yeah, so I will be back Tuesday with the next yarn talk video next week. I do hope to maybe, I do not promise, have something else for you to watch Monday, just something short and sweet. Except for that, just quickly for the scheduling of this channel is that on Thursday, we do, as ever always, have the upcoming giveaway, which is coming up Thursday morning. Then on Friday, I have the most anticipated, probably by some of you guys, shopping video. Normally we do yarn hauls on Friday, but actually this Friday I bring with you with me to the city, and we are going to look at a few stores of various crafting things, though of course I'm mainly yarn, but I did bring you with me on a little city trip, and you're going to see a little bit of the surroundings in the area where I live. So I do really hope that you're going to enjoy that on Friday. Then Monday, of course, I hope to have something, but I don't know yet if and what. And then Tuesday I will be back with the next yarn talk video. But let's talk a bit about the past week and what I've been doing. And I have actually progressed this past week a bit more on the baby blanket compared to prior weeks. But we are also at a pace now with this blanket that, with something that keeps increasing in the round, it keeps taking longer to complete the round. But I actually did complete maybe 1.5 rounds or so on it. This is the size we are at now. Whoops, I have my working end. So this is basically the size we are at. This is the start of the round. And I'm here right now. Lovely shell stitch in this gorgeous ice yarns. Not much to say. It's a nice sort of friendly acrylic. Basically you do a round where you do the edging, where you work in the shells in. So you can see at the outer edge here, this is the outer edge round. So you work in these 5 single crochets, and then work in a V-stitch, and then you work in 5 single crochets, and a V-stitch, etc. And then, of course, in the corners you do work in corner V-stitches. So you work in a V-stitch, 3 single crochets, and another V-stitch, all in the same stitch before you continue. And then the shell itself is just like 7 double crochets within the V-stitch in the following round, which is basically what you can see here. Here I have 7 double crochets in this V-stitch. I placed a single crochet around the 5 chain 5 and in the center of the previous shell. And now I'm basically ready to continue this round with another 7 double crochets in this V-stitch, and so on. This blanket still has some distance to go. And of course, as mentioned many times earlier, the goal is to make a border of a few rounds of like a baby pink before finishing it off with another couple of rounds of white. And I do luckily have plenty of yarn for it. I have, this is the second skein I'm working on. They are 150 grams each. And it's just 100% acrylic. And I have these lovely, as you can see how the light falls here, this kind of shine to it, kind of speckled shine. I think it's really, really nice. And the pink has the same. It's upstairs though, but I have 2 full rolls still, at least 2 full skeins at least of this, plus this one I'm working on. And of course 2 full pink. I don't believe I will need all that. But basically we will see. Right now, I'm just working on it to grow it further. And we will see how far I get. For that project, I am using my 4.5 millimeter prim crochet hook. I was debating if I should have gone upsized and take my 5 millimeters. But yeah, I ended up just sticking to the 4.5. I guess it felt okay, and then here we are. It's good. I'm not unhappy with the results of that baby blanket. Then I am also working and progressing nicely on the Leaf on Me vest. As you know, I did finish the back panel last week. And this week I've just started working on the first front panel. So just a quick show here is the lovely back panel. Here you can really see how it drapes very nicely. And you can also see that I have decreased a bit so that I have made rooms and spacings for the arm. And as I'm holding it here, we can also quickly conclude that it is an oversized vest. And that is also something I knew in advance. The pattern also says it's supposed to be oversized. And because it says it's supposed to be oversized, I was like, okay, I'll just increase the size by a little bit, which I did, like by 1 repeat of the pattern. So that was another 16 stitches. I do wonder here in hindsight if that was really needed, but that doesn't really matter. It's done. I'm not gonna redo it all. That's one thing, that's for sure. And maybe it's not so bad to have something that's a bit oversized actually. So let me see, just a moment here. This is the far I've gotten on the first front panel. I do have a few tails I need to weave in, so please ignore those. But if we look at top here of the work again, as you can see, it's actually half the length except the repeat of the extra 16. So it's the exact half length of the back. And they will, yeah, I think I will have extra room here on the shoulders when I'm looking at it, but we will see. I miss another 10 rows. And when I've done the next 10 rows, and it's very important that I do keep track of those, then I've reached the same place where I decreased on the back. But here I will also start to decrease on the front because I wanted to make it as a V-shaped front panels. So I need to make 2 of them, where one of them, like they mirror one of each other. And then the question is if and how much I will reach. I will be happy if I just at least manage to finish the next 10 rows so that I'm ready next week to do the decreases and finish off the panel. The reason for me saying this is that I will be gone for a few days in connection with Pentecost. I have other things in life, in real life applications, so I won't be home. And I know where I'm going. I will not have much time to actually crochet. I will bring something with me, but this is not a project that I would want to bring with me. It requires too much attention in the pace or in the face of the project that I'm getting to. So I'd rather make sure that it has my full attention and devotion. The project here so the Leaf on Me vests, which I have just shown you, is made in the Twister Solid yarns. So that will be this lovely yarn. And this color, of course. And it's the color teal, which is a colorway 107. And the Twister Solid yarns here is made of 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. There are 100 grams in each of these small cakes, and they are 400 meters each. So that's like 3.5 ounces for 437 yards for those that watch the American numbers. And they recommend a 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm using a 3.5 millimeter. Also, in fact, my prim hook, you will have probably noticed by now that I do swear and enjoy using the prim hooks, at least for projects of this size. And yeah, it's considered a fine yarn. I totally agree, it's a fine yarn. It can be washed at 40 degrees. It can be ironed, but it is for that set, lay flat to dry, do not tumble dry, etc. And it's made in Turkey, basically. And they also have these in cakes with different variegations through, and they all come with the center pull tab here. I'm almost through my second skein. So for this whole project, I'm completing the whole back. I'm almost at top, ready to start decrease. So in total, I might just need 3 skeins, even though I did expect sort of 4. But this is how much I have left on the second skein. So that's very, very little. I all have it in a nice little plastic ball here, just to easier keep track of the cake, and it fits perfectly in the ball. There's not much air around. There's a bit, but it's perfect for what I'm doing. And I'm really, really pleased with the project, the process of the Leaf on Me vest. Of course, we'll always have things to go faster, but I do believe we sometimes, especially when it's on bigger projects, can be a little bit, eventually we get to a place where we really want it to be done. Like the patience kind of slowly runs out. At least I sometimes experience that, okay, now it's ready to be done. And that either has 2 effects on me. One could be, okay, I'm not in the mood to work on it, and it kind of gets put a bit away because there's something else that seems more fun. Or I get motivated and I do a lot just to get it done. And okay, that can be a challenge with 4 projects going. And I have to say, actually, this past week, I have tried to devote equal attention to all of my projects. So I am reasonably proud of that. That is, I think, for my doing at least, yeah, that's pretty okay. The next project I'm working on is this sort of cosmetic bag, even though I'm not going to use it for cosmetics, but it is this small pouch bag container thing, which I'm making in this gorgeous stitch. It's a lovely textured stitch, actually, which contains of a single crochet and long single crochet, and you keep alternating them, which means that your starting stitch count has to be uneven. So the all stitch count all the way around has to be uneven, for else you can't keep doing this. So basically you do single crochet, long single crochet, single crochet, long single crochet. And when you get the whole round, you will see that it fits, so that you can just keep doing the alternating without having to remember to, okay, now I changed round, I need to remember to do this. It's just automatic. So that's the absolute beauty of this pattern. And as you can see, it's really growing nicely. The original idea and intent was to make something for exactly my prim crochet hooks to lay in. And as you can see, it fits perfect, except if it would stay, of course. But lengthwise, it fits perfect, but actually it has too much space here, sort of. So I have been contemplating, and that's probably also what I will end up doing, is I want to make an extra of these, though that has to be another color because I will not have enough yarn to make a copy. I do have some other yarns that I might end up using for it, for the purpose of holding it. So I will make it a little bit shorter so that the lengthwise fits much better for the crochet hooks. And this I might use for something else, like indeed for cosmetics or just to bring with me as carrier or whatever. I'm not really sure yet. I really enjoy it. The stitch, I think it looks gorgeous, especially also with yarn colors. I have, of course, a zipper that I'm going to sew into it, and I got some fabric that I showed last yarn talk video. Right now the fabric I don't have here next to me, but that fabric I am also showing in Friday's video where I take you to the shopping trip, because I got permission to video record a little bit in the fabric store where I was picking up the fabric. Not much, but you will see that. It's all going to be a bit voiced over. And of course I recorded a bit in some yarn stores as well. Or well, it's more like general stores, but they do have a small yarn section for you to see as well. And when you see the last of them, you will also understand why I do order a lot of yarns online, because it's just easier. Though they do have some cheap yarns. I should probably go yarn shopping sometime soon. Different place, different locations, more options. But so this is how it looks, and I make this right now in a cotton yarn, and it's the Mayflower cotton. It's double threaded holds together. So I run here 2 skeins, and it's the 448 cotton yarn from Mayflower. It's their Mayflower Cotton Junior, and it's called Jeans Blue. I do not remember the number for those, but yeah, I'm expecting either to finish this before I run out of yarn, or when the skeins are done, I'm done here. I'm not really sure how far that's gonna be yet, but time will show, because clearly that's, yeah. I have a few rounds to go, and I am going to hand sew lining, because I got the fabric for the lining with everything else. And I did have a suggestion, because it's only going to be crochet hooks going in to the pouch, at least that was original intention, and therefore it might not be needed to line, because what's created is such a dense stitch. It's such a dense stitch here. So due to here to what's created, I might not need a lining at all. And that was also at around the same time I was like, okay, maybe I made it a bit too long. Okay. So I do want to put lining in that, because it's kind of suitable and fitting. But if I make a number smaller, I don't think I need a lining at all. And I just need something that's just long enough to contain the crochet hooks, with maybe a centimeter or 2 ease extra. I think that should be more than enough. Unless you think oversized carriers for crochet hooks is a good thing. Yeah, let me know. How do you actually keep track of your crochet hooks? Do you have a container where they all like stand in like pencils? Or do you have bags where they fit in? Or do you have them in the original package? Or yeah, how do you keep and store your crochet hooks when they're not in use? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comments down below what you do. And then it's slowly time to find the last project that I am currently working on, which is the shawl, which was a bit more with a leafy pattern that I was trying to design, but ended up being inspired somewhere else. And yeah, I found it, and it's, yeah, I'm going to show how far I've gone. Sorry, got disturbed. But I have proceeded with a few more rounds. So it's starting to put some decent size in it. And I think, looking at it, you can easily have this idea of leaves or diamonds kind of thing, which is makes. And of course, I'm making this in the cotton cake, which I have from Sten Yarns. I don't have a lot of dark green left. I will slowly get into a lighter green here. As you can see, I've started from the outside, even though this type of cake, they do have center pulls. But I felt, because you work from the, you keep increasing on the outer edge, so to say. And I felt that it would be nicer if it was lightest at the outer edge and not at the very top center. So therefore, with this particular cake, I decided to start at the outer edge. That just seemed to make most sense. And the benefit, so while I had hoped to design my own leaf-alike shawl, the result of this is absolutely gorgeous. And the best thing is, it's actually just as simple as once you get started and get far enough out, so a few rounds, it is merely a 3-row repeat pattern. And therefore, it's something that is really, really easy and simple to make a tutorial of. And originally, the idea was to design my own and create a tutorial from it. But every time I sort of got stuck and was like, I don't understand why this is not working out. And then I kept redoing it. I kept flocking a few times. You have also noticed if you have followed my yarn talks. And I actually came to something that was maybe working, but it would be absolutely impossible to make a tutorial from because each row would be different. There was not a place where you could say, okay, now it's repeating every so many rows. It's just one repeat. Like every 5 or 6 rows, you would have to repeat yourself and that would work fine. But it wasn't. Like, you know, I had made 13 or 14 rows and none of them were really repeating themselves at all. It was looking half decent and I think it had potential, but as a unique piece and not as something you could make a tutorial or pattern from. And then I decided to sort of scrap the idea and to put it a bit out in the future to, I don't know, for another day out there, I might figure out something else. And then I stumbled across this pattern, which is actually used for a pillow. So all the way it's worked in the round instead of as a half. So right now I work in a half round. That one was worked in the full round. And it was actually like, yeah, it was a pillow. So I basically just halved it and started working on it. And it works absolutely gorgeous as a shawl. And because it is exactly this 3-row repeat, it's going to be so lovely simple to make a tutorial from. Though the downside with this cotton cake is that it is a very, very thin yarn, as you can see. I am using a 3mm crochet hook actually for this project. I'm just using my small 3mm prim. I do enjoy the prim because it's an inlined hook, so it seems easier to catch the small strings. And they recommend actually 2 to 2.5mm crochet hook, but I do think this works up nicely in a 3mm hook. I think you agree it works up nicely in a 3mm hook, but it could maybe have been a hook smaller, but I wouldn't have done 2mm. That would have been, personally, I think, too little. But the good thing is, as mentioned, I can easily make a tutorial from this. And for that, I want a little bit thicker yarn because it simply is easier to see. And I've been thinking, okay, what yarns should I use? And I'm like, I have 2 yarns that I'm debating between. And both of them has been gotten and obtained with the purpose of a more nature look in whatever project I will make for them, because they are nature looking yarns. And I do have made a decision which of the 2 I want to use, but I am going to show you both. The first of them is this lovely rose garden, yarn art rose garden cake, which has this Yeah, I'm not sure what to call it. Sage blue, no, not sage blue, sage green, darker green kind of thing. Into a lighter green, and it goes into these brown shades. The rose garden cakes here, they are 100% cotton, and it's soft cotton. It's like lovely soft cotton. And they're 250 grams each, and for those 250 grams you get 1,000 meters of yarn. And the interesting part is that while you get this here, the Stanley cake here is also 250 grams and 1,000 meters of yarn. But this feels more airy and more, almost, I would say, more soft. Not that the other one isn't soft, but this one just feels softer. If that's due to how it's wound and spun, because both of them are spun or plied together, but this ply seems less tight maybe in structure. It's a colorway 322, and I got it from a Tweedehands Woolwinkel in one of the yarn hauls. And the idea was really to make this as a base foundation of a leafy shawl, starting of course off the center and then going out to the outer edge here. But the thing is, I have a different yarn. The one I got back a few months ago from some of the sales, which is a hobby twister. So let's see if I can even find it. Whoops, hobby twister here. Oops, it's even turned upside down. This was better. Hobby twister yarn. And it has these stunning colors. Dark green to a lighter green, which turns into these yellow and dark yellow colors, more like fall, kind of like in the center. So this is like summer going into fall. At least that's how I'm viewing it, where this is more like summer earth tones, maybe. I'm not sure. I like this green, but looking at how the cakes are as a whole, I think this is a nicer one because it kind of goes from this into more fall shades. So what I want to do is probably make the tutorial, but work with this skein and start from the outer edge also and work to the center. I believe that that's gonna be the end result for this tutorial. And the question is when I get to start on the tutorial, because I have plenty of things to do this week. And also it feels more correct to finish this up first, or at least finish as much as possible. Before, like, it would be weird if this one is finished first, but I don't know. We will see. The green is the ones where I can practice and get hang of it, so it's a lot easier to explain during the tutorial. So yeah, as said, I do really not know when I get the chance to start on this tutorial, but I hope to have it done sometime this summer. That would be absolutely awesome. So there is something for you to look forward to on this channel. I think we're slowly getting towards the end here. There was a lots of things to talk and discuss here. And as mentioned, I am going to be somewhat busy and I do not know how much time I do have to crochet. I will bring something with me, but I don't think I will reach an awful lot until next Yarn Talk video, but I will try my best. And I'm sure we will have more things to talk about at that time. I guess, yeah, that was pretty much it for now. Thank you for watching and supporting. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification button so you get notified whenever I do post new videos. If you like yarn talks and yarn content videos, don't forget to give this video a like. That's very, very simple and easy to do, and it helps supporting me as well. So thank you so much, and stay healthy and safe until I see you again. Take care.